Hello everyone. As mentioned in my previous video, I'm working on a new big project. The pre-production is currently in full swing, so as shooting hasn't started yet, I took the opportunity to commence an upgrade on my motion control rig RigB, as I plan on using it in the project for some of the motion control shots. I recently bought some parts in order to improve the mechanics and the electronics of the rig. I bought some new belt, new gantry plate, motor, and even idler brackets as well. For the electronics, I have been using a motor and the electronics box from the larger motion control rig I have called Dave, so the main part of this upgrade was to make sure that this rig could run independently of the other rig, should they both need to be used at the same time. Currently, the rig has the motor attached on the sliding plate, which is what I call the gantry. I chose this design because at the time I was converting a non-motorised slider to one that was motorised, and it was the quickest and cheapest solution for the deadline I had as I was making it for an animation project. The rig did work and it did meet the deadline, however, as the weight of the camera and the motor were being taken by one length of belt that was static, there was a lot of belt slip. The first step was to remove the old mechanism and the gantry plate. These will both be replaced as the belt isn't long enough for the new mechanism and the old gantry doesn't have the correct rigging points for this. Don't worry though, I will be keeping these for future projects as there is nothing wrong with the parts themselves, and getting new parts for every single project is going to be quite expensive. Next is to get the new gantry plate fitted with the camera mount and the wheels put on the bottom. Now we can mount the motor onto the body using one of the mounting plates that we have, as well as mounting the gears for the motor on both ends of the rig. The new mechanics of the rig will have the motor move a belt which will be connected each end to the gantry in order to make it move, as opposed to having the motor pulling the camera and itself along. The motor I have chosen to use for this rig is a NEMA 17 26Nm stepper motor, which is connected to an Arduino R3 like the other rig. However, it's different in this case as I'm using a CNC shield and an A4-899 driver instead, as this way all the electronics are more compact. This will be bolted onto the side of the rig as to keep it all as one unit. This will be all powered by a 12-volt power supply, which I bought on Amazon after working out how much power was needed. The code that Dragon Frame provides in its program files isn't compatible with CNC shields, so I had to use some code that I found on the Arduino website, which was available for download. My coding skills aren't the strongest, so it was great that this was compatible with the newest release of Dragon Frame, which I had recently upgraded to. I then set up the rig and set the correct current for the motor so it wouldn't draw too much and destroy the electronics, and I ran some tests. These worked perfectly. The motor was able to turn the belt and move the camera, and all I had to do was adjust the resolution or microstep settings by bridging these pins on the CNC shield under the driver. After a couple of tests, I was happy with the rig settings and completed a shot for an upcoming series. To house the electronics, I'll be having a 3D printed box made by a family member who is very familiar with CAD and 3D printing, which I am planning on getting sorted next time I go and see them. I hope you enjoyed this quick upgrade video. Please subscribe if you enjoy my work, and if you have any technical questions, I would love to answer these in the comments below.